The closest to a libertarian as you can find, although it's still less than stellar in France. They had an election and the better guy won. So that's a start. I've been working and working and working and figure, what am I going to do? My 1000th cassette, what am I going to do? Well, right now, what have I done? I've come up with more garbage than anything else. I will show you what I'm working on. I'm working on a clock. This clock probably already exists, but I have to work on it anyways. Okay. We all start off by telling you that the 1 on our telephone, okay, has the exclamation point, because in all, number 1 is the one God. But he plays from the 5 position. He plays everything from the 5 position. He has no choice. 5 is 1 away from every other number in digits. He plays from the 5 hole because everything results to perfection and 10. Everything that goes behind him and in front of him will create the perfect one spirit of an egg. Angel, spirit, and man. MASCHRCHRIS, Mass, Christmas. The is in the word is actually standing for 28, which means beta heaven. Okay, and is the spirit of I, which is 919. The funny thing that keeps tricking me is that the 1 on the telephone has nothing, but the 1 in roulette is red, and the 9 in roulette is red. And when you put 1 9 in roulette together, they're both reds. It's the only reds that do that. You do not count 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. 1 and 2 do not even do it, because it's 2 different worlds. 1 is the spirit world, and 1 is the spirit world with the electronic angel. So you need the Christ energy, which is yellow, and yellow, blue, and red, and you end up with that black color. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on. And one of the reasons for 666, okay, to tell you, is like this, okay. This world is a world of 6. We're going to start on a corner, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the black, this will be transformed, okay, onto a roulette board and the Monopoly board. R and R are the railroads. These are the corners. You may have 8 ways on the corners, but you can't go all 8 ways, okay? And 1 line creates 2 ways, okay? You only can go 3 lines because the other line cannot go, because this space in the 1 corner is connected direct through beta over here, the secondary system. Like God, 1 9 is 19 spirit, the 1 spirit of the 9 birth, but in this world would say the beta birth, because it's her world that this birth came in. Now it's in this corner. So if you go over here in this corner, it shows 3 parts. The 9 part split into heaven here, that goes over here for man over here. At the same time, it comes into here and puts the 4 angle. Why does it put the 4 angle? Because when you go down into Pluto, 9 and 4 is 13. 1 and 3 of 13 equals 4. And that's where this position is. The same for this one. 7 over 6. 7 and 6 is 13. This one is number 4. They're all number 4s. It's the 4 angles. It's the 4 angles of God, of the 1 spirit. Here's the 1 spirit. Here's his 4 angles. Each one is 6, 6, 6, 6. And on the inside in the beta world, her 4 angles are the same thing. 6, 6, 6, 6. The same thing on the telephone. If you add up 1, 2, 3, it's 6. If you add up 4, 5, 6, it's 15. 1 and 5 is 6. If you add up 7, 8, 9, is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. This whole world is of 6. But the thing is, we're playing a game of Trinity. Trinity is 6, 6, 6. The other 6, we know where it is. It's God's world to connect. 3.3. We have to connect to a world. It's 3.3. Wednesday is a day of miracles. It's a transfer day. Don't forget. Just going to jump off this for a second. Jupiter and Earth, okay, okay, the angle of birth. Do you know what that spells? The Jedi. So my first thing that ever happened to me was all about Dragon Ball Z and the Return of the Sith. How they put the last movie that we actually saw 30 years ago first. And the movie that just ended was actually the beginning. That's the way I saw it in my eyes. And it had to be that way because Darth Vader was there. And anyways, so now we're always asking ourselves questions. So now we have 6 here. Why do we only have 6? Because it's either north-south or east-west. Each one disappears. You see this line? It's automatic. It goes automatically this way, so we don't count those 2. This line goes automatically that way, so we don't count those 2. This line goes automatically this way, so we don't count those 2. And this line goes automatically that way. We don't count those 2 because they're already on the angle of. Okay, so this one will pick up 2 across, and this one will pick up 2 across, because these are always the 5 angles of alpha. The one spirit in the center of the 5. 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 corners. 1 in the center is 5. Okay, plus you have 2 parts of beta world. And part of beta world here is 4 and 6. So you have 3. So you have 6 moving in here, 6 moving in here, 6 moving in here. You have 8 times 6. Okay, you have 48 moving. Okay, but in the 6, okay, do you know why there's 6? Because 1 is the core that it turns around, and 1 is east-west, and 1 is north-south. Okay, 6, 6, 6. 6, 6, 6. It also spells the fox. And the addition of the fox is the total keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 45. 4 and 5 connection, the fox. 1, 2, 3 is 6. 6th letter is F. 4, 5, 6 is 15. 15th letter is O. F-O. 7, 8, 9. 24th letter is an X. F-O-X. It spells fox. We've got the Fed going this way. We've got Hell and Bell going over here. It all depends. You see these, what look like H's? Once this line goes all the way through, they all become H's. But when they go all the way through this one, they all become I's. When they go all become this one, they all become H's. We go all the way through this one, they all become I's. And then things are created through the Monopoly game. We'll try to say, here's the railroad. Right after the railroad, okay, you see the W and the 3, that funny 3 it makes? The same time, take a look at it. It made a 5, and at the bottom of it, it makes a 2. Makes a 5 on the railroad. Do you see it? Here's the 5. The 5. And then you stop this top, and you get the 2. You get to the top side of the railroad. There's those who are going this way, and you get on the other side of the railroad, those who are going this way. You understand what I'm saying? There's 2 sides. And then there'd be 2 cities. This one happens to be Oriental. This one over here, I think, is it's going to cost you money. So anyways, here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 9 of them, plus with including the one in the center. 9 each is a total of 81. There's only 9 by 6, only 54 of them that actually work. The number 54 is love, and 45 is the fox. So again, it's a reversal of the communication of the connection. 54 and 54 is 2 decks of cards, including the 2 jokers. Why? Because you're the one joker who's playing with it right now, and I'm the other joker. Somehow we're entwined together up there, and I'm expecting some goodness from you. What are you going to put out? What do you got to offer, eh? Eh? Ah, you're a big shot, eh? You got no pain. I see you got no pain. Oh, you do have pain. You got to listen to me, repeat myself again, to no pain, who's got more, and who's got less. Well, why don't we work on this together? Because it'd be better off I work with my angel than if I work with somebody else who wasn't at least on my side, just about guaranteed. Is that right, Angel? Okay, so so what we have over here, okay, is we have man. Now, when you close a Monopoly board, you close Monopoly board this way, right? Or do you close Monopoly board this way? Okay, that's why we have the line on how you close the board. One world is a good world, is the good world for man. If we close the board this way, which is going to jail over here, go to jail and visiting jail. Not only that, this would be go to jail, and I just told you, number 1 is not supposed to be there on the telephone, okay? They don't have any letters, because the opposite of this one over here, this side of man, see the way it's pointing out this way? This is the cross. You see the way the cross is with all the lights of the cross, and it continues down the cross? You see the way the cross continues down? It can continue down, not this way, but this way in the book. You can extend it. This is a stop sign. That's all it is a stop sign. And this is just the squared angles that are connected behind it. And these are the ears of the cat's ears. This is a big cat standing up. If you look at it the opposite way, this ends up making the Magen David. Okay? At the same time, this indentation over here, gathered up with these lines, leave the pentagram. Without this box in the center, eliminate the box. So where was I over here? So over here, this is where we are. This is Jupiter, this is Jupiter, this is Jupiter. Somehow we're inside something that's inside something, and everything out there really doesn't exist. And that's why I'm starting to think, Cyrus, planet X, we are the X. Or is the X our angel? X is 2 and 4, 24th letter. 24th letter represents 5 and 9. 9 is who we are. And 5 is Jupiter, where we are. The way I see it, 5 and 9. 5 and 9 have both 42 counts for their numbers. 2 of them together represent 84, which represents 21, which is one of you, the 21st letter in the alphabet. Spirit, angel, and man, 777. 4 and 3, 7, 2 and 5, 7, 1 and 6, 7. And then if you really want to screw it up a little bit, why don't we listen to this other 7? 8 and 5 make 7, doesn't it? Because 7 is like 4. 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. Why do I say that? Because the letter M broken up into Roman numerals is 1v1. So it's very confusing to try and transmit over there. Is that what happens, okay, is because the opposites of what I showed you on top are reflected on the bottom. If this is a 3 and the 7 connect is a 4 and a 3, then I go one level lower, and the 7 connect is with a 6, just one level lower. This is 13. 1 and 3 equals 4. This is already a 4. This goes over here, okay, and connects this and makes it a 7. 4 and 3, 7. That's what makes it to the 7th gate in between here. 2 and 5 is 7. 8 and 5 is 13. 3 and 1 is 4. Again, we become over here. So on each of the things we come over here, and on each of the other ones, 7, we come over here. 7 and 4 is Christ. This is the angle, the 7th gate of the 4 angel. Here's your bases. We're sitting at the home plate. There's a ball hit over to first. He hits it down to second. He's over to third, and he comes home. Oh, the pitcher is still at the mound holding the ball. And what's he going to do? Does he throw it towards the dugout where the railroad is? Does he throw it towards third base, the dugout where the other one is? Where's home plate? Home plate is right over here. Okay. You have to have home plate over there. Isn't that the way we would put a home plate? Or would you put a home plate over here and just turn this whole thing around? Anyways, Beta's the diamond. That's why diamonds are forever, because without her, we're not here. Now, who told me all this bull crap? Who told me we're not here if she's not here? If mother's not home, no one's home. Father can be here for us, but we live in mother's world. If mother decides to close down shop, we just freeze in hell. Well, why would they say hell over Bell? Well, the reason we switch B for H, okay, is once B says Bell for beautiful, right? When mother's gone, it'll turn like hell. It'll be like shit. Every time mother's home, she's got to clean up. The way we express ourselves, what we say, the language we use is all connected in the world of God, twisted and tied over. It's incredible. Don't you ever see some of the playing cards? Well, it seems like they have, what do you call it? Suede or leather sewn up against the bar. Let me explain to you something else about 1, 4, and 7. Do you know what I think about 1, 4, and 7? Just out of that, I think this one ends up to be a bar that gets sliced into 4 and number 7. So I'm going to design that bar. And then I think the same thing. Okay. 1 second. I'm thinking. Now, why did I say that? Oh, yes. Because where 3, 6, and 9 are, okay, I know what I was doing. Okay, here it is. What are these values? This is the value of 10 with 1 spirit. Okay, that's what it shows. The X means 10, and here's the 1 spirit. But it's sliced through it. So it doesn't say whether it's a spirit above or a spirit below. It doesn't say which one. It just says a 5 life. See 5 here? It's a 5 life with it, or it's a 5 life minus it, but you're not 5. You're more than 5 or you're less than 5, but you're not 5 because 5 is in between the both. And if you were at the in-between, you'd be in both, and you're not. Okay, that's what this in-between and V's and W's and all these numbers and combinations. It's easy to do when somebody's sitting there and we're looking for one simple thing. I can do it. But I just start looking for one simple thing. And I mean, this is the first time I designed it. That was the first time I designed it. It was a little bit smaller. But you see what the inside's supposed to look like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 numbers inside. And then on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 2 worlds in here. Okay? And that's why it's a square. If it was actually, excuse me, there's a complete 2 worlds in here. Otherwise, she would be a rectangle in her own. But anyways, so this is what it is. So now what you have is 9 by 9 is the 81 worlds. Okay, you want to hear it better? Listen to this, the best one. They each have 6, right? No, let me start over. They each have 9, okay? Around this circle is 8, plus this is 9, okay? They can touch, plus themselves is 7. In 2 different worlds of 7. 97, 7. 9 of 7 world of 7 world. Creation, heaven, egg of 4 angel, and the 6 man, which is the letter M. And that spells 97.7 Shom FM. That's what it spells. 97.7. That's what's so important, because there's always 9, but you're never using more than 6. Plus you're using the center pin, which is equal to every other corner. So you're using 7 of 9. So if you use 7 of 9, then what you got to do next is, do I still have that design here? Where's that 7 of 9? Here. So you have this 7 of 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 creation. Hey, look at that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 creation. Now, if this was a pentagram, it would force a point right into the center here that would show the center of the 7th gate. This is a Magen David. The Magen David this way, and then the Magen David this way shows you the 2 ways you can make the world of 7. It also creates in the beta world, in the alpha world, okay, in the alpha world, the 1 spirit of 7 is the only one. 6 and 1 in the other world, opposites on the dice are 7, and they show. Every other dice on the dice, when you put the 2 sides together, will only create 5 unless it's 1 and 6. So here's the H letter for the heaven, and this is the I for man. 1, 2, 3. The 5 connects 1, 2, 3. It's 24 and 6. The total is 30 for creation, and the center spot is worth 5 if you only pass through it 1 time by creating a letter, by creating this letter. You only pass through it 1 time. Once you're in the game, that's the letter you create. Otherwise, if you do not pass it in that scenario and you use it as a connecting valve, then you will end up with that star design. See, the 2 designs are the same thing, but they make 2 different things. One of them passes 3 times through 5, equaling to 15. And that's one of the reasons in tennis, when they score 15 points, okay, they cross the heart. 5 through center, 5 through center, 10, 5 this way. They got 15, they got 1 star, they got 15 points. Anyways, the other thing in this is a pig. The reason for the split hoof, if you take a look, okay, is it's got army badges upside down. 2 of them, 1 on each side. Now, when you have army badges, it's okay to have 1 upside down, but the cap, the design of this is inside the Magen David. It's also the cap cards, and it shows the antlers on the other side, okay? 2 sets, okay? And here's the pig's nose. At the same time, we look like a cat or a jack. Here's hooks on each side. I don't know why there's hooks. Here's the tail. But this split hoof, okay, shows 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. The expression is that this side connects to one world of the pig, this side connects to the other world of the pig, and inside the pig, okay, he has the 2 worlds within. This pig, to me, is a part representation of the heavens, because what it does is, because of the split nose and because of the split hoof, it's taking up this side, it's taking up this side, and it's joining them together, okay? So it's joining everything together, whatever the heavens have to present, and that can be all the dreck in the world. So anyways, so let me light up the cigarette for a sec. So the other way we can also look at it is, here's the Magen David here, and this is what it looks on the inside. You see it's a yield sign that comes out. It's a dice, okay? This dice can also get letters, but instead of having it on the dice because of the design, they let us pedestals over here in which to create 1 and 3, 7 and 9. All of these are cut corners. When you make an octagon, you must cut 4 corners to create it, and those 4 corners can be used to recreate the Magen David star again. So every time he makes one, he creates 1 octagon, he gets 2 Magen David stars, 1 for the heaven, north and south, and 1 for man and his angel, east and west. So every time somebody comes into this world, is born, it stops in one world at 9, and then it starts at 10. It starts in September, begins in October. 7 and 8, September and October. 7 and 8 equals 15. The 1 egg of the 5-spirit angle of God. The 1 spirit. The 1 spirit is actually us. The 1 and 2 spirit is who we are. We're the 1 and 2 spirit. We are the 3 spirit. 3 and 3 make 6, because there's an angle to our connection in this world. Yes, we're born of flesh into this world. We certainly are. But the element of electronics have already been into this world. The minute you breathe, okay, the electronics start to build with you within the air, and your mind begins to grow. And I don't think it's until maybe the 4th month until you're actually going to be receptive into a certain way a child is supposed to be. It changes at a certain time because he's growing. When they say he's growing his brain, he certainly is growing his brain. He just got this new little brain inside his head, and he's only allowed to do the basics of what the basic spirit gives into a child's birth. And as you get older, you go from the 1 spirit to the 2 spirit to the 3 spirit, and then you're connected more with the 4-angle spirit, and then you're connected meditation-wise to the 5-angle spirit, and then you're connected to the 7th gate. But 7, 8, and 9 don't even exist. 7, 8, and 9 exist only because of this world. The 7th gate, okay, or the 7th God. Why would you call the 7th God when there's 9 birth? Why would you call it the 7th God? Because the 7th God is opposite from the 3 earth. So man is on earth, and God would be 7. The opposite of man would be the God. So that's why it's opposite. The spirit is on 1, and the spirit birth is man's 9, is his birth. But God is also 1. So then why are we connecting 3 to 7? We connect actually not 3 to 7. Is what happens is 2 connects to 3. Okay. 2 connects to 3. And 3 is already connected to 7. But 27, the number 27, the beta 7, okay, it means, the beta 7 means the line is going this way, and then you have your 6 points, and then it's her world of 7, and then she's got another world of 7, okay, and they put them together, and you got one world of 8. In between, you become the heaven, the 8th one. And your number is 5. So I keep saying, are we in Neptune? Are we in, where are we? Like, what happens at the end? Do some of these planets disappear? Is space frozen out there? Is just space really, really frozen? I'm going to show you another thing. Here's the letter H, okay? Forget about what's in between. What I did, okay, is I started up here in this corner, went down, all the way around, all the way looped, and all the way to 9. And 1 didn't have to pass through anything. All we had to go is pass through numbers 4 and 6. That's all we had to do, was go through 4 and 6 to get from one side and the other, or through 2 and 8 and the letter I to get from one side to the other. Pretty cool, eh? And you can do them with all the letters. This is the letter P. You went from one side all the way around to get to the bottom side. And this would be 3, 6, 7 to 8. P, one spirit of man. 3, 6, 7, 8. Creation of 7 is 21. Anyways, my thing right now, I'm going to end this, okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make another page. I'm going to try to connect this to here. I don't think this one's supposed to be. This is free parking. This is the railway. I have to figure out what these two properties do. Then I have to put all the roulette numbers in here. Okay, what is it going to give me? I'm not quite. I know it's going to give me something. I know it's definitely going to make me designs. But really and truthfully, what actually exists is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, everything in between doesn't exist. It's not there. It's not until you do something. If you do something between 1 and 7, 4 will exist. If you do something between 3 and 9, 6 will exist. If you do something between 1 and 3, 2 will exist. If you do something between 7 and 9, 8 will exist. If you get everything to exist around it, then you get, this is you. This is going to be you at the end, and how you get to be this. This corner shouldn't be here because it's the one corner. Go is over here. This corner is supposed to disappear. And this corner, okay, this corner only exists because of the one spirit and the beta heaven. The beta heaven needs all 9 numbers, okay. This, if it didn't exist, this go to jail would not exist because there would be no jail to go to. And there is no visiting jail if this didn't exist. So then let's say this didn't exist. So the only thing that would exist actually on this side of the board would be 2 and 6. Or if I flip the book around, it would be 2 and 6. 6, 22, 6. That's what would be left. Now if you take a look in the middle, as it's here, look, 1 spot, 2 spot, 3 spot, 4 spot, 5 spot, 6 spot, 7 spot, 8 spot, 9 spot. You got 9 other spots this way, and then you got 9 other spots this way. The angle to life, the L letter, okay, which is 1 and 2, okay, the angle to life creates 3. But at the same time, 1 and 2, the angle to life is 1 to 2 is here, through 5 and here, making the L letter. The same numbers created on the next letter creates the L. At the same time, if you take a look and follow my hand, that's the number 2. When you go from this position down to this position and over to this, to create the 1 and 6, you've just made a Z or a 2. To do this position, okay, this over here is the 4, 2, 6. If you go here to here, down to here, okay, you have created the omega, the omega. Heaven of omega, 8 and 15 equals 23, beta creation. Ask me any number, ask me anything about anything. I'm in a jam right now. I'm in a jam. Okay, so now let's see what would happen. If we were over here, okay, we would be at Pennsylvania. And I always look at Pennsylvania as liberty. If we were over here, we would be at B and O. B and O is beta omega. 2, B and O is 2, O is 6, number 26. Okay, B and O is number 26. But it is actually, okay, the 10, 20, it's the 25th one, and its number is 26. This is go to jail. This is free parking. Over here is Pennsylvania. This is short line. This is Reading Railroad. R&R, Railroad. Reading Railroad. RRR. 3 R's in this railroad. This is short with an S. Angel resident, spirit. Beta egg, beta omega, Pennsylvania, the one spirit of 6. Each of these connect into our creation. Guaranteed. Guaranteed 100%. The question is, who's going to tell us what's right and what's wrong? It's all what you want to believe. Okay. One of the reasons, okay, is Pennsylvania starts with a P. I didn't do the whole letter count, okay, but PA is initials, is ready to know the one spirit of 6 angel. Okay. Man is 6 and 1, which makes him 7 and 5. Only because the 4 angel would become 5, and the 3 creation and the 2 angle of beta will become 5, and they will come together. But anyways, so we have this over here. So what I have to do is figure out this one and this one. Then these are free. Do you know what this one is? This is the Mediterranean, and this one is the Baltic. This one over here is Boardwalk, and this one is Park Place. We have the 2 cheapest and the 2 most expensive on this corner over here. One of the reasons why is because on this corner, okay, we have the precious life of God, okay? And on this corner, they have the world in which they walk on, the oceans in the world. Boardwalk, B&W, beta and beta creation, and Park Place, the one spirit of the one spirit. This is the connections for these over here. This corner over here, corner number 7. I'm telling you, you got to watch out. Somebody, they're going after the Suez Canal. They're going after something there underneath the water. Guaranteed, it's underneath the water, underneath the water, underneath the water. My video won't come on. It's underneath the water. Ron Paul is the only one to vote for. There's something under the water. Is Bell good or is Bell bad? Is Bell going to be with us? What's it like, Bell versus AT&T? Are they together or apart? Because there's a suspicion of an agglomeration of some world big medias starting to join together. One of them was Astro Media about a couple of weeks ago. At least it's off the grapevine, and I appreciate it. I just heard it, and I really thought that was coming in, because when my project also began, it was always about Bell. Bell is one of the only companies that does not, okay, need an area code to call their head office. They don't. It's 310-2355. You know what that says? It says creation of the one spirit of beta creation of the freedom of 5. And that's exactly what this whole game is about. Exactly. Bell. It's crazy. B-E-L-L. 2, 5. B and E is 2 and 5. Break and entry. 2 and 5 go together. Breaking and entering. B and E. Beta electronics. 5, 5, 25. Anyways, so I showed you that each of these run at 6. They're all counted for as 7 in use, and 2 are not in use. Something else is going on with it. Like if you're coming up this way, right, this can't be in use. But the minute you get to the center, this one can go in use. Okay? There's a chance you can use 6 of 9 and 6 and 9 in the same one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like 1, 2, 3 is that 6, and then you do it again, 1, 2, 3, and then this 6 when you get to the center of the box. That I don't know. It's too complicated. I don't want to start with that. Okay. Okay. Raphael 7286, this is my thousands. It's now time to rate me. And I have some good points, but a long cassette for the amount that was said. The saga continued on. When will I get myself back from this garbage? You know, because like I said, 2, 5, and 8 is not supposed to exist. Okay. It's only supposed to, but in order to get from one side to the other side and have a center, we had to include 5. Because at first there was only 1. And then there was the 4 angles of the one God, and everything he created in between totaled out to 9. And that's why it's the 9 lives of the dog, because God and dog backwards is the opposite. The question lies, are we on Saturn? And I believe we are, because some of the old movies, all the scary movies, it seems like the clock seemed to stop at 3:15. And if it stopped at 3:30, it meant it was connecting to the heavens. But when it stops at 3:15, both arms are angling towards the 15 minutes. And 3 times 15 minutes equals 45, and that is the Fox angle. 15, 15, 15. The egg spirit 15, the beta spirit 15. And actually, the man is actually 10. It's actually 15, 15, and 10, just like in tennis. Just like in tennis. You want me to repeat it again? Okay, I will. Here's how it goes. Here's how it goes. When you put a cross along the telephone of 1, 5, and 9, that's 10. It goes through 5, but it's a 1, 9 connecting 10. Okay, but you have 15. Okay, why do you have 15? Because the 1, 3, 7, and 9 and the 5 are all red on roulette. So you have 15. It counts because it's the Father using it. He's the one manipulating it. He counts. Okay. Then you go 1, 5, 9, and again it's a 15. And in tennis you got 15, 15. Now we've crossed it. 3 and 7, 1 and 9 are crossed through the 5 position. You cross through that 5 position twice. 5 and 5. So at the beginning you got 1, 5, 9 equals 15. Then you got 3, 5, 7 equals 15. And while you did that, you went through the 5 spot twice. 5 and 5. Total score in tennis, 40. The question is, what is the final score? I never get to hear it. I always think it's 60. The reason I think it's 60, okay, is because I believe that you put one crossing like this that goes right through the center and one crossing like this for the beta connection, okay? That's what I would do. And then I would have a total of 10 and 10 is 20 in one shot. But it's 2 lines, so it can't work that way. I'm having trouble because I can definitely get how they got tennis. I can definitely get, okay? I mean, just they have a net in tennis. I mean, golf, football, points, runs batted in. Angel resident of the beta birth. Beta birth. Let's call it intelligence, of the intelligent birth. I'm going to change that. I never used intelligent birth yet. RBI. Home run. Heavens of angel residence. Home run. They run home. Home run. RUN. 18 and 21 equals 39. Roo. Kangaroo. An extra pocket. Angel resident equals to 19. The first A is an A. It's a root. RU. Let me start this again. Run. RUN. Okay. 18, 21, and 14. The total is 39, 49. The total is 53. Creation, Jupiter, whatever you want to say. At the same time, I forgot to mention, but every time there's a number next to another number, it's an automatic 8. because they join. They're heavens. It's an automatic 8. The minute two numbers touch each other, it's an automatic 8. Just like on my squares. The minute I have two squares that touch together, I have to put them in two high by one box, and that's a heaven. They create a heaven. What was I talking about? 7, 8. Forget about the 8 thing now. So I got to figure this whole thing out. Oh yeah, golf. Runs. 53. 5 and 3 is 8. It means heaven. It means you connect to heaven. A run. Let's go for a hit. 8, 17, 27, 37. It just means alpha met beta. And he got a hit. How do I know? HIT, 8, 17, 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. 1, he's on a base. He's 1x. He's 1x because he's on the second level of the count. A win. Oh, that's what a funny word. Because if you had none, okay, and you made none less by taking the n away from it, you'd have 1. So sometimes more is less than less is more. So none is 1. But can you spell 1 W-U-N? 1. Or 1 like this. O-N-E is 1, but W-O-N-E is 1. So 1, the O sounds like a W. The W stands for beta creation. Okay, number 23. It's almost like alpha creating in another world with another system. Okay, it's a beta creation because alpha is producing the one spirit in our mind, and beta's creation is he's mixing up this with that, and he's sending us to Earth, and he's connecting our wires to another planet, and then we have to be born through these human beings. And then we don't know shit for like years after, but we forget most of it until we're like old enough to tell everybody to fuck off. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the way it is. The minute we get up, we're like out of the house almost. At 13, oh my God. Shh, Mother, I don't want to hear it, Mother. I don't want to hear it. At 18, you're gone. I mean, what life is there? You never really spend time with your parents, because by the time you spend time with your parents, you're telling them what to do. You're telling them what to do. Anyways, so we have, it's all 6s. Everything is 6s. So much for 666, right? Anyways, what else can we get to? What else can we get to? Let me think. So we're into sports, right? Hockey, heaven. They play with ice. North Pole, Santa Claus, Christmas, elves. Black puck made of oil. At least God knew. You see, that's a sign that God really knew what he was doing. He knew that if you wanted a diamond, you go out to the old ball game. And he knew if you wanted a little bit of oil, you just go out to the Arctic and take in the fresh air. That's the way he wanted it viewed. How big, Tiger? This is my 1000th video, and I crapped out. See this? I mean, I'm just hoping to say that I'm right, okay? This, okay, is the 7th gate. This is the 7th gate, okay? 7th gate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? But this one in the center, and this one over here is 5 also, but the one in the center, okay, there's 3 that go in the center. 1, 2, 3. We only put 1 right here in the center. Anyways, 1, 2 blank, 3, 4, 5. Now we go second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other one is not there. This 3 and this 3 have to come together. You see the octagon shape, the honeybee shape? It comes together in the center, and that's where 3 and 3 is 6. 1 in the center, okay, makes now 7, okay? Now, as you saw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was at the beginning. I went 1 and 2 over it, creating this as the 7th gate. It's the 5th gate of God, but it's a seventh gate in total because beta goes over it. 5 and 2. Okay. Now what I have to explain is this world is out of it and this world is out of it. That is the 6 worlds of man, plus the 1 goes here for 7. Where is the other one? You don't need the other one. It's the cross through you here is up here and down here, and the cross through you here is here and here and here and here. These points. You just drag it through in here. This and this makes up what you don't see here. This and this makes up what you don't see here. Because it's the accumulation of this one here and this one here that gives the number of this one here. So you don't need it. So this one's 3 and 3. The 2 you don't see, okay, excuse me, the 2 you don't see, but the one you do see is 7 of 9. 2 on top. Don't forget, 1 in the middle. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. You have 11. The 1 in the center makes 1, 9 because it either is for the top, for the bottom, or for the center. Do you follow me? Oh, does that make any sense? I mean, you can turn it this way. I mean, look, it's just a road going around and around and around and around. But with man in the center here, it goes back and this way and this way and this way and this way and this way. And you know what it keeps creating? 2 and 5 and 5 and 2 and 2 and 5 and 5 and 2. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they didn't make it for nothing. Can you see it? Can you see the numbers there? 2 and 2 and 5 and 2 and 5. Because it's constantly, the reason why it's 2 and 5, okay, which is a total of 7, is because the 4 corners of God, 1, 3, and 7, and 9, are inside of you. And the 2 beta is inside of you. The 2 worlds of beta is inside of you. The 2 beta. 2 beta. 2 lines of beta. They say so many things in so many different ways. The 1 world, the 7 is actually a 3, but it's not always actually a 3 because sometimes a 7 can be a 1 spirit, a 6. So sometimes a 7 can actually be the 7th card. You look at the 7th card and it's really the beta world of 7 because the actual point in the center is beta's point because without here there'd be no point to the card at all. So then it's beta in the 7 card. Now you got the 8 card and that's beta heaven, but inside beta heaven there's 2 7s. What is she? Both 7s or 1 7? And who's the 7 in the middle? Is that the alpha 7 with the beta 7? So many things to count. And then sports and football, 6 points, 1 point, 3 points, 613 laws of Moses right there. You know, you got 50 yards, 50-50, half-half. Half for you, half for me. Can you get half-half? Yes. If you overlap the center line for each side, you can get half-half. But the total amount of half is 5 versus 5, or 55, and the 55 yards they use are the word of freedom, 55. And you know what's funny about the word freedom, 55, is the letter count for the word freedom is actually 66. 55 and 66 total 121, and that's May 1st. This year it was May. This year was May 1st was the 122, and that's the Illuminati day of some sort. And not only that, before I cross out of this, I just wanted to go back to. There's a lot of ways to look at it. Like if I turn it this way and close off the top, here's a number 1, here's a number 1, here's a number 1. Empty spot, empty spot. How do I make my number 1s? Well, either I choose the odds and the evens, I can choose the properties, and it'll tell me, because each one, I can put a line, and it's got 1 line between each one, okay? But this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1. Trinity. The second one, third, fourth, fifth one, 6, 7, 8. Second, third, fourth, fifth, 2. Oh, excuse me. 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, and 8. And the other ones are white. I got white and black right over here. and white and black over here. And I'm going to finish off those colors, okay, along the same routes as roulette, because in roulette, number 26 is black. Number 28 is black. Number 29 is black. Some of these colors should be red, but they're not. They're black because it doesn't work the way you think. Like the number 14. No, that's the letter M. The letter N, the 14th letter N, 14th letter, it's red. Most people would think it would be black, but it's red. Why? Because 10, 12, and 14, it falls in the beta world. It's in the beta world, but it's alive because the N, okay, the N, E, and W standing for new is all brand new. When 555, spirit, angel, and man, that is their average to get through the hole. Once they get through the hole, their electronics are hooked up and they become something different. It's all the same thing. They're just wires. It's just where you hook them up makes the whole difference. You hook it up to 6 instead of 8, and you hook it up to 4 instead of 3. You end up with a world with 1. There's no 2. If you have no 2, who brings the birth into this world? You know what I'm saying? Raphael 7286. This is my 1,000 plus, not counting the canceled, 1,000 plus 100 over at Facebook, 1,000 video, 7 years, 1 complete day after entering into the hospital with psychotic delusional visions, now entering into world, and I have 1,000 videos, and yes, I have an average of 10.25 viewers per video. Don't get all excited now. Don't jump out of your bed all at once, and don't turn me off. This had to be, the only way I would do this is because even though I've had very few commentary and very few telling me anything, I still have to say thank you for watching me and giving me half a value as a human being who all I want is to create a surface that we can start throwing all the truth at it and see that everything I do speak about is on the up and up. This is not for money. I'd love to make money doing this, but I'm more broke than anything else. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes one of these, you know, little volleys like that, and you take off into the world. Although it doesn't work as much with me anymore, so I'm off it probably for the next week. I have to probably eat something different, maybe more juice, so I can go into the jungle land. Yeah, so like I said, thank you. Hopefully, and I'm just hoping that my videos are going to get better, that I'm going to find something that I can jump on. I'm not sure if I'm going to lean towards sports and goalposts and attendance and the number of people that can attend the crowd and who can't attend and what the specs are. And anyways, I just think I'm really leaning towards Saturn. I'm really leaning towards Saturn. The only other option that if we're not on Saturn, we might be that X planet that they're seeing out there. We might be inside that planet, hovering below maybe Jupiter for a very long time until now that it's surfaced and everybody sees us. Maybe we're just in this hourglass of some sort of time, traveling out through this solar system, not actually knowing what we're seeing because our windows are not real and true view. You know what it says when it says true view? Is what we see up in the air actually true? Up to what distance is it true? Does it actually stop? At what point does it stop? Is there a possibility that this planet goes further down into the core than it does up? And that's one of the reasons for the standing aces and the caps of the jacks and kings to hold up the islands. Have you ever heard that one before? The Bermuda Triangle separates, the ship goes down, nobody gets hurt, and then it comes back together all in one shot. So like a rotation of the ocean. Everything is more down, like Atlantis is down. The Greek gods are probably down. There's a lot more truth in the fantasy than I ever thought ever before. And just to tell you one thing, that on a square, okay, you will always see, okay, either a V on the inside or a standing M. okay, letter that will cover the corners. It will cover the corners and it'll look like an M. There are 4 of them. Each M stands for 1,000. You have 4,000. Then you have the in corners. They're all delta corners. They're all valued at delta 500. And that makes the 6,000 years just by counting the corners of a square. And up there, and then the beta world, the 4 corners or the cross, 500 years each, 6,000 years. Well, why does the Hebrew calendar only say 5,772 years? Because on a cube, there's 9 positions, there's 6 positions, okay, but in each position, there's 9 spots. You don't always get to see all the spots, but in the 9 spots, each one represents 25 years. The first year for God was when he took out the introduction page. The next 225 years he was learning. So that 225 years is lost. And then came the years of Noah, 1,000 years. And then it dropped into the time of us. We're in 5773 coming up this year. Oh, I can't believe it. 5774 is the year, my friends. I will know, and I will be so sure, okay, that I'm going to jump on the date. If it doesn't happen exactly within this and this period, I'll think that whatever I'm saying is a little bit of hogwash, but I won't quit because I know there's a lot of truth inside what I do. I know the numbers meet and match. I know there's mathematicians that go out there and figure out some of my numbers and meet. But the question is, they say, why do they meet? What are they meeting for? What is your next point? See, that's what the whole thing is. It's a giant equation with a ton of different mathematical equations in which we'll recreate different instances. And all at the end, you know what it'll do? It'll create a big story of numbers and a story connecting to the numbers. And you'll be able to search out whatever you want. Give me 10 numbers, 8 numbers, 6 numbers. We keep throwing them back until, boom, we've got intelligence. F intelligence, if, IF, 9 and 6, the I intelligence. So now I got to think, the I intelligence is 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 is creation. That is the I intelligence. How do I know? Because to create an I, you need those numbers on your telephone to create the I, and that is the total. Very funny. 6 and 9, 9 and 6. We're always connected. I guess that's the way they say it. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. On the honor of the year 5775, I will end this cassette at 57, at 55, 57. Thank you.